Welcome back, my dear students. We will continue with the topic of literary terms. In the last video, we have talked about the literary terms like simile, metaphor and all. And again, I will be continue here with the topic of literary terms which are supposed to be the part of your syllabus. And this topic carries 6 marks for your board examination purpose. So students, before dealing with this topic, I need to tell you a little bit about the origin of this poetry, the writers associated with this poetry. Done. So we begin here. Metaphysical poetry was first started in 17th century and it was related to spirituality. Now I expect you all understand the meaning of spirituality. Here you can see meta means beyond and physical means the physical world. So something that is beyond the physical world is called metaphysical. Okay, and it represents distinctive school of thoughts. It means the poets, all those poets and people associated with this metaphysical poetry, they were the people of highly intellectual thoughts. They were having high level thoughts and expression. So this metaphysical poetry was first termed by the Samuel Johnson. You can see here Samuel Johnson. His full name was Dr. Samuel Johnson. He was the man who coined this term metaphysical poetry. Here you can see the number of poets who were the part of this metaphysical poetry school. First one is very famous and quite popular name in English literature is John Donne. Second is George Herbert. Third is Andrew Marvell, and fourth is Henry Vaughan. So the reason behind the origin of metaphysical poetry was these poets pointed out about the existence of God. They were like, what is the proof of the existence of the God? Here you can see features of metaphysical poetry. What were the main characteristics of the metaphysical poetry and the features associated with metaphysical poetry are, as you can see, in metaphysical poetry we will find extreme use of strange imageries. Strange imageries means something very wild, something very different sort of imageries. Second is use of puns, paradoxes and conceits. Conceits, it means comparison, the unparalleled comparison. See, highly intellectual features. It was highly intellectual, full of weights. Fourth is extreme complicated thoughts, and we will also find concept of God, of religion, of love, of marriage in the metaphysical poetry. Done. So these were the characteristics of metaphysical poetry. Second literary term we have got here is interior monologue. Okay, what do you understand by interior monologue? Interior monologue means a piece of writing expressing a character's inner thought. It means a piece of writing, a work or something that express the character's inner thoughts and expression. Interior monologue means a poetic form, a long speech by one person. So you can see the meaning of monos here. Interior monologue. Monos is Greek word origin. Monos means alone, single or one, and logos means speech or conversation. So you can get an idea what I mean to say here. A single character represents his or her thoughts. In interior monologue we found a single character represent his or her thoughts, her inner conflicts and expression. The speaker reveals his thoughts to the audience or any other character. Done. There are two categories of interior monologue. First is direct and second is indirect. In dramatic monologue, a poem or a story that reveals a character thoughts and feeling. We will find a dramatic monologue is also a part of interior monologue, and in this dramatic monologue a poem or a story that reveals a character thoughts and feelings. Okay, the best example of dramatic monologue is here with you. Example, Romeo and Juliet. Done. Second is dramatic element. What are the dramatic elements that are the part of this interior monologue? First is mental conflict. Second is emotional output. We should also talk about the writers associated with this interior monologue. The main writers of dramatic monologue are Robert Browning. His best work was My Last Duchess, and second one is Alfred Tennyson. His main work was Ulysses, where he also discussed about interior monologue. Okay, student, hope you have understood well. Go through it, you will understand. Thank you for giving your time.